Hello!
Welcome everybody to the crazy collaboration between WaveTech and MindWave. Today we're going to be showing off the Wave Bolt, which is made by Carrie, Random, Basil, and Zoot. The base idea was from Nuctech and Monica. However, these two servers came into collaboration to make this bolt, so I hope y'all like it. You're gonna see the explanation in just a bit, but also if you do want to have a little bit of more of a detailed explanation, please make sure to check out the archived post. And also you will see this like doc thing that you will be able to click on. So yeah, make sure you check that out. The download links, again, both servers, so corresponding WaveTech or MindWave. You can get help for debugging or any kind of help that you may need or building it in the first place. Now, let's see the video. So I'm going to be explaining how to put together a bolt network and how it works and some of the encoding details and whatnot. Okay, so first, to understand the bolt, we need to understand what bits we're working with. So first, we have station relatives. So this is what we're going to be using to route in the station, the subnets themselves. So let's get first into what exactly is a subnet. So a subnet is just a group of stations for the most part. So the basic subnet is always just going to have a bunch of stations sprawling out. So, or one. It doesn't have to be multiple, it just has to have a station. So over here, and whatnot. So one subnet, let's say the green one, will have its own little station. So station relative, like for example, let's see here. So station 5 has a relative number to its own station because the way the encoding works. That's just how it works. So let's say station 5 will, if you want to go to station 1, it will have its own relative number, which I will show you in a second how to set up on the stations themselves. And this will route themselves. So that's what this bit is gonna get used for. Then here we have the main subnet router. So this, if you wanna go around the other subnets, so let's say I'm exiting green to yellow. So that will have its own bit as well. So here we have the subnet transition that will transition into other subnets. Now this is actually very important. Basically, we need a subnet transition to be able to go around other bolts because we are removing this first number. And this first number is the station relative. So since we have exited the subnet, we don't need this station like relative number no more. So after we exit every transition, we're gonna just drop that number. This is where Nuctech originally had this idea. And then over here, we have the main net, basically. And then mainnet connects to all of the different subnets. Now you cannot make it so that it doesn't connect to the subnet because like you can't just do this, for example, like you can't add another whatever subnet here and then all good. It has to connect this subnet because that would require a lot more bits. Now the main subnet is different because the main subnet doesn't, as you can see, no stations on the subnet. Like over here, there's no station. And that's because this is the bridge between or the hub or whatever above all the stations or subnets. So this is what we're going to be using to traverse. And over here, the routing is different for all of them. So yeah, you want to count all of the stations. So let's see. So over here, this side, for example, we have a bunch of stations, but let's take something that's a little more easily seeable. So over here, we have one subnet. And as you can see, we have one station here. If we look, 1, 1. So you will basically just count how many stations that are in what way. So yeah, that way is one station, this way is one station. Now, if we look at here, we're gonna see, ignore this bit for now, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Now, this bit over here is very different, as we can see. So, right, we have all the counted whatever stations. Or this way, it's kind of different. So, in the non-main subnets, like just these fodder or whatever subnet, we can have 15 stations, up to 15 stations. Very important, no more than that. unless you want to reprogram the entire bolt, which would add more bits to this. And that's enough for like so many systems. So like that's like 225 stations. No one's gonna have more than that. 225 stations, but one subnet can only have 15. And then you connect basically towards the subnet 1. So this is, you're gonna have one subnet 1. So this is gonna be like, I don't know, your main storage, your nether hub. Towards the main subnet, it will be different for this part, but this bit right here, this is always gonna point to the station 0, basically. And station 0 is over here. So if something doesn't have a station, like as you can see, this one doesn't have a station, that's where this is gonna be pointing to. And then let's see here, over here, it's pointing into where it doesn't have station. So yeah, that doesn't have station. This, for example, let's see here, this doesn't have station. And the way this works is that you have to count up to 16 in all of these. So 1 plus 14, so that's 2, plus 14, that's 16. Let's go here, 1, 14, 16. Okay, let's see here, so we have 3 stations over here, so 3 plus 1 plus 1, that equals 5, so we gotta add 11 towards the transition between the main subnet. You're gonna be just doing this basically all over. Now for the main subnet, it works a little differently. So these are just, by the way, the black bars are these transitions, and over here we have 9, because this is a subnet transition, 1, then 5, because there's 5 different sprawling out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this exact segment is not connected to anything yet, but maybe you want to add more to the bolt later on. So this is exactly what this is doing. So if you want to, for example, because again, you can only have one main subnet in your whole system, so maybe you want to have like expand things over this way, so you must have calculated that, you know, this is going to be here. So yeah, it's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 this way, and then 9, because this, again, this is, and then 1 over here because it's one subnet. So you want to basically count the subnets for this part, not the station, subnets. Like there's one subnet there, 2 subnets here. However, this is not subnet, this is just an intersection. And over here, 1, because there's one subnet here. And then 3 because there's 3 other intersection thingies, and then 11 because this way is the subnet 1. And that's about it for the numbering. Now let's see how to put this in the lecterns. Okay, so now let's see how to do this on the actual bolt themselves. So over here we have the intersections. So there we have like the 4 fork one and the 3 fork one. So these are all the intersections you need. And over here, you're gonna be just coding them. So the signs that we put in here, over here, so yeah, all the signs, you just basically put it in here. And here's the way that they have to be put in. So this lectern corresponds to this direction, this lectern corresponds to this one, whichever is the one that's the composer close in, and yeah, the one that's going this way. And that's that way. And this is that way, and that's exactly how you need to do it. I do recommend having like a doc sheet or something that you can just use to be putting these in, because obviously you want to keep track of these are very important numbers. Otherwise, you know, if these are lost or something, you have to redo it all again. Like let's say a trial member goes here, blows it up, pisses on it, I don't know, you never know what trial members are to, you know, just keep in mind these numbers, have them somewhere safe. And then here we have the stations. So over here, this is one subnet. So this is connected to one subnet. And over here, this is our station 0. So this is where station 0 is. This is where your subnet little transition is. So here is a subnet transition right here. So this is what we call a subnet transition. This will remove the first number. Again, not really necessary to understand the whole networking and how it's working, but the point is to have the subnet network and everything just removed from the equation and have them be routing. So that's all you need to really know about these. So yeah, this is station 0, so that's the subnet transition. technically station 0 or whatever. In the encoding, that's station 0. And over here we have the intersections, as you can see. And basically, to know what station is what number it will have, we just have to follow the loop. So we're just gonna follow this piston bolt right here. So we're gonna start off from station 0, which is your transition. So over here we have the station. So we're gonna just follow it like so. And then, oh, okay, we're gonna go here. Station 1, follow it like this. Just gonna follow this piston bolt. Station 2, loop. Station 3, and then obviously you follow this loop more, and then 4. And you have to do this for all of them. So yeah, and obviously if you only have one station per subnet, it's 1. And over here, if we follow this one, 1, loop, 2, loop, and then subnet transition. And over here, so let's go this way. 1, loop, 2, loop, 3. Yeah, and as you can see over here on this example piston bolt, we have the main subnet over like this. So this is our main subnet. We only have this much, and as you can see, you can just have it like the main subnet. If you ever need to expand it more, you can just have like something that is not built, right? You don't need to actually build all of it. So yeah, right now this is just set up to go around like this, nothing more. So let's see how to set up the stations and everything, because this is not that actually hard. So over here we have a little, I don't know, you would have like a map art or something to, you know, tend to or whatever. And you're just gonna basically go and look at this. So over here we have actually three lecterns that we're gonna take notice of. So yeah, this is just for the wiring purposes. This is not important for us right now. This is just for the wiring. So yeah, 1, 2, and 3. And we'll go here, and you want to basically put in what subnet this belongs to. So this is the subnet 3. This station is station 1, so subnet 3, station 1. And over here, you want to put in the station number. So this is 1, station number 1, and then this is station number 1. You just want to put in all of these numbers, and that's it. That's literally it for setting up the actual station. Now this is easy to use. You put in wherever you want to go, blah 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 blah. And obviously to go to a station, you have subnet selection over here and station selection here. You want to put in the station and then put in the subnet, and you go wherever the hell you want. Now putting these choker boxes in. Now for some stations, you want to basically be like a quick, like, you know, just like pressing a button, nothing crazy. Like I want to just press the button and go there immediately, right? Like maybe main storage, Pearl stasis, you know, stuff like that. Very important stations that you just want to quickly go to, right? Like, you know, you obviously is P2P, so you can go anywhere from anywhere to anywhere. However, you do want to have a way to quickly go there without having to lectern everything your way. So yeah, this is exactly what that does. So over here we have, like, let's say I want to set this station 4 to station 4 in the same subnet. So yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, so now how do you actually set up the quick selection? So over here we have obviously our panel, as I've aforementioned, and over here we just have the SS made. So as you can see, this is SS3, this is SS2. Over here we see I want to go to station 2. So I want to set up the boxes like so. You can check out Floppy's box maker for this one. You can just make these boxes automatically completely, so don't worry about this. And over here, you just want to put them here. So this is where the station number goes, always. And this is where the state and the subnet number goes. And now we are all ready and set up to go. Over here, we have SS2. And over here, we have SS3. So now, you obviously want to make it panel UI mode. So now station 4 is going to go there. And let's test it. And voila, I'm going to go to station 2. And ta-da. And you want to do this so forth and blah, blah, blah. Like you can set it to 1, 1. So that would be just 1, 1. Station 1, panel mode. And over here, obviously the lockout feature will prevent you from going in. So from starting early before it's set up. So now I'm gonna go all the way to station 1. gonna shortly arrive. So there you go, Summit 1, Station 1. If we look, it's exactly what it is. So yeah, that's exactly how you set up the quick selection and the stations themselves.
When using the bolt with stacked carts, incoming carts come in here where they're stored in this block, right underneath the separate one cart sign. When you hit that note block for separate one cart, it'll separate a cart out into here so that you can access them one at a time. Or you can hit send entire batch, where it'll send all of the carts through into this area right here. When you hit that to send all the carts to there, you can then choose to send all the carts to the bolt for transport, or you can add more carts to it using the empty cart right here, using the cart loader. Every time you hit the button, it'll push the cart into there one at a time. If you have it set up over here with the on, you can send the carts to the yeeter, where it'll yeet the carts and give you all of the items out. If not, it'll be sent for external processing, or it'll be sent to the bolt. This is the panel UI for the bolt. This allows you to quickly select what station you want to go to based off of pre-programmed destination. When programming it, you program it based off of the items in the shulker box. Then you simply hit the selector panel to select your destination. It'll go through the system and automatically program the bolt to go to that destination. You select the UI based off of this lever, so the panel UI is selected. This is the lectern UI. This is how you select unique stations through the entire bolt. This allows you to select any station and allow you to immediately go there directly. From here, you select your destination with these two lecterns, and the code is displayed on these two redstone dusts. This allows you to double check your code. Here we have a data transmission line. This is used for automation and other options that are a little bit more advanced for this video. You do need a texture pack in order to see the dust signal strengths, or you can go into your F3 screen to look at them, but I recommend a texture pack. Here we have the indicator lamp that tells you when the station is changing settings. This allows you to know when the station is usable versus when it is not. It'll turn off when you change the settings and indicate when the station is able to be used again when the settings stabilize. This will also indicate when the auto launch for the cart is on or off. So if it's off, you can't launch automatically and you have to wait. Next, we'll talk about the auto launch system. Simply get into the cart and it automatically launches you off. This also works with chest cart. Simply load the chest carts into the system and you're good to go. The chest carts get launched before the player, so you will follow behind the chest carts. Simply get in, the chest carts get sent off, and then the player gets sent off shortly after. This is the intersection for the bolt. This allows us to have a queue of two carts, which means that when the carts enter the system, they won't crash into each other. The encoding for this is made by Nugtech and is subtraction based. It automatically ejects carts if the queue is full, meaning that the carts are safely collected rather than crashing into each other and spreading out all over the bolt, making a mess that you have to clean up. This intersection is also full speed, which means that as long as the queue is empty, you will go through the intersection at full speed and not slow down. You will stay at 20 blocks per second the entire time. There's also a three-way bolt network intersection. Next, we'll talk about how to line the schematic. You'll open your schematic menu. You'll hit load schematics. You'll click on the schematic you want to load. You'll hit load schematic, and then you simply align the schematic. Now that's a simple process, but it's important to remember certain things. 1, you want the schematic to be level with itself. So the pistons should all be on one layer, like so. Next, you want to make sure that there's a proper offset between the pistons. You don't want there to be pistons on the same side. Simply align the schematic like so that there is a piston alternating on which side it goes. So every other block on every other side. And then you simply paste it in and you're good to go. Next, we will demonstrate how to align and use the diagonal bolts. First, you'll load your diagonal bolt. Move it into position. And you will align it like so. You want there to be a proper gap between all of them so that it alternates each side on a piston and alternates the rails so that they are rotated correctly. Then you paste it in. Next, we will talk about the right diagonal bolt. You'll simply load the schematic. Notice how it turns the other way. You'll align it in position, the same as the left bolt. Next, we'll talk about how to connect the diagonal bolts together. You'll open your schematics folder, use the small bit of diagonal schematic, and you'll align it like so. Doing this can be a bit finicky, so it's important to pay attention. Rotation is important here, so you need to make sure that the rails are facing the same way as the connecting bits. You'll then align them like so, and it's important to know that this is too wide tileable. You want the redstone dust to be aligned with the rest of it. You don't want the redstone dust to be in between the two. You want it to be every other block. So line it up like this, then paste it in. And then simply go over every 2 blocks and move diagonally. And then you can continue that for as many as you need to connect them together.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Help is in the Mindwave and WaveTech Discords. There are flying machines in the schematic folder to help you build, and schematics for the bolts as well. Archive posts are on both the WaveTech and the Mindwave servers for your convenience. Let us know if you have any questions, and have a happy new year. Thank you, Trolley, for recording the video.